There's a short story by Jorge Luis Borges called On Exactitude in Science. In the story, he described an empire who is so obsessed with mapping its own geography that they created a map the exact same size of the empire itself. Point for point, mountains for mountains, the map covers the territory perfectly. But in the end, it was useless because a perfect simulation of reality is still just paper. It isn't the land itself. So, look, we are currently building that map. We call it artificial intelligence, and we are confusing the paper for the land. To understand why ChatGPT doesn't really know anything, we have to look at a paper published in 1980 by John Searle. It's called The Mind, Brain, and Program. He proposed a thought experiment called the Chinese room. Imagine a man sitting in a closed room. He speaks only English, he knows zero Chinese. And from a slot in the door, people pass in a piece of paper with Chinese symbols on them. Inside the room, the man has a giant rule book, and the rule says if you see swiggle A, you write down swiggle B and pass it back. The man follows the rules, he matches the pattern, he passes the paper back out. To the people outside the room, the man seemed like a genius. He knows Chinese. But does he really know Chinese? No. The man understands syntax. That is, the rules of moving symbols. He understands zero semantics. That is, the meaning behind the symbols. That room is ChatGPT. When you are dazzled by its poetry, by its coding ability, you are just the people sitting outside the door. We see the output and we assume there's a mind inside it. But inside the server, it is just a man with a rule book. But in this case, it is a 50 billion parameter of next token prediction. The understanding is an illusion of math. It is high dimensional pattern recognition. It calculates that the statistical distance between the sky is and blue is zero. It is the ultimate master of syntax, but it has zero semantics. And this brings me to the foundational difference between computation and consciousness. Understanding requires stake. In his book, The Antichrist, Friedrich Nietzsche argued that you cannot separate the mind from the body. Thought is a biological function. When humans say, I love you, that is not a text string. That is a biological cascade. That is fear. That is hormones. That is the understanding of the eventual death. The meaning of the phrase is anchored on the risk of losing it. An AI has no body, it has no depth, it has no stakes. Therefore, it cannot have meaning. It creates a perfect map of love without ever stepping on the territory. We have built the ultimate map. It is useful, it is fast, it is efficient, it is beautiful. But can I be honest? We are at risk of moving into the Chinese room ourselves. If you start using AI to do your thinking, to write your love letters, to form your opinions, you are handing over your semantics to a machine that only knows syntax. You are trading meaning for speed. Don't be the guy just passing papers back and forth through the doorknob. Be the guy that understands the tool and live in the territory. That is my rough draft for today. My name is Adeyomi Lawal. I'm a product manager. I see the world in systems and I feel it in shades of blue. Anyways, go out and touch grass. The AI can't do that yet.